Carl, Dan, and Brendan here from Games, Brains, and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. And it is that time of the year. It is right around the corner, the Bloodstock 2022. And we're here to talk you through our 10 most anticipated, the bands we're most looking forward to, 10 each. Now, for clarity, we are recording this a little bit earlier because Brendan is going to be away. So while the lineup is not 100% complete, it basically is. It's a handful of New Blood bands and Jaeger bands to get chucked on. But we feel fairly confident we can come up with 10 at this stage. If by the time this video has come out, some of these bands have dropped off the freaking bill because of whatever reason, e.g. if recently one of us had Sacred Reich, we then have just dropped off the bill and been replaced by Siloses. If that has happened, we apologize. We're recording this as of, what is it, July 17th? Yeah, July 17th, because Brendan's gone away for a few weeks. And what is it, 17th? 18th. I forget that. It's hard. Brendan's gone away for a few weeks. We've got to get this shit in place ready.
My luck, I'm expecting all 10 of my bands to pull out while I'm away. So I'll come back and just be like, yeah, they're all gone.
Also, it is like we're choosing to do this on one of the 2 hottest days of the year. You know what days I'm talking about. If you're remembering it, presumably we all survived. I guess. I don't know. Or we didn't combust.
I'm sweating in places I didn't know I could.
I'm assuming if you're watching this, you survived, probably.
Yes, hopefully. But if we do start to look like we're melting or sweat starts to pour down faces in this video, that's because, of course, we're trying to avoid background noises of having fans and windows open and the likes of all of that. But yeah, if you do notice that, it's not that we're super, super excited about the bands, that we're sweating over it. It's because it's fucking 30 odd degrees at 8 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Dan, we'll do the Swisser. We'll start with Dan, we'll do me, we'll do Brendan, we'll go that way. So, Dan, get us started. This is, by the way, for me anyway, and I presume it's some of you, not an order. This isn't a ranking. I'm not ranking this 10 to 1 of who's my most anticipated. That didn't seem fair, so it's random for me.
I did. Okay. My 10th is Bloodywood.
Bloodywood?
Yeah, I thought it's just more of like an interest thing. I kind of listened to them when they first got announced. Like at the end of last Bloodstock, and I was like, these guys are cool, because I like when international bands like include cultural music in the metal as well. I think that's really cool.
Okay, that's cool. I'm a fan of Bloodywood to some degree as well. It's interesting, as obviously the whole cultural thing. While I think it's cool as well, I've a lot more of association with it because of a lot of other bands that do that similar thing. So it doesn't necessarily stand out as much to me, but I'm surprised that you're interested, because obviously another aspect of Bloodywood is that they kind of lean back towards a sound from the 90s, a new metal-y kind of sound.
I have a kind of soft spot for it.
Okay.
Like every now and then, if it's done well and it doesn't just sound like shit, like mix-wise, then it can be good.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Not on my list. Are they on yours, Brendan?
No, I don't have them on my list.
Any interest?
I mean, I agree with the bits that you said. Like, I really liked the idea of the, the cultural kind of references in it. I guess because I'm like old and boring, I was just like a bit like, I don't know, disappointed that it was then like cultural references, but within that new metal sound. And it felt to me like it was quite, I don't think it's meant to be, or maybe it's meant to be, but sometimes, but I felt it was quite jokey. And I was kind of, I don't know. I was like,
yeah, I can see how it get construed like that.
Yeah. I was kind of like, I would really love the idea of the cultural references in it, but like, I don't know, maybe just in a different style would have been more for my taste. I don't know. I think it's cool that they're there though. I do. I think like countries, any of these sort of countries where it's not historically known to be like a massive kind of output of metal, I think is really fucking cool. So
yeah. If you were to do percentage of population by percentage of metal bands, I'd imagine India's got quite a low one.
Yeah, unless there's like some bludgeoning underground scene or something like that. Do you know what I mean? There could be, but it obviously doesn't always reach our shores. There isn't much that reaches here. So it's cool. Well done, then.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. Talking to cool, then my first one, and it's the main stage on the Friday the 12th of August, playing the main stage, opening it, in fact. It's Red Method. I'm very excited for this. I think these guys more than deserve this opportunity. I think it's one of those that a potential set that might be one of those, oh man, did you catch Red Method of the weekend? They fucking tore it up first thing in the morning on the Friday. I think they're going to pull in a huge crowd because effectively, if you didn't if you're not doing like the Thursday and you come down on the Friday, it might be the very first band you see of the weekend, the full weekend. It properly kicks the festival off because obviously Thursday is just sort of that half day. So it's Friday's considered the festival start. So yeah, Red Method's my choice of first of the 10.
Cool. I have them as well.
Cool.
Same reasons, really. I think they're really nice guys. I think they're a hard-working band. I think they do really well. I think it's cool to see a band moving up through stages anyway, like any band. That's also pretty cool. And yeah, musically, first band on in the morning should be a nice.
Yeah, I think they might struggle. I think they might struggle with crowd energy being first thing in the morning, but possibly. People will still be fresh. But like, yeah.
Because it's Friday, I think if it was like Sunday, I might have like agreed with you. But Friday is a bit of a bonus. Beyond, you know, it's only for the people who've gone hard and heavy on a Thursday night.
So Nick, then.
It might be all of us based on how many good bands on Thursday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, true.
As you had that, Brendan, we'll skip you then and go back to Dan so we keep it in order. Go on, Dan.
Lorna Shaw. This is once again a bit of a kind of I might as well.
Yeah.
Deathcore's not really my thing at the end of the day, but I know that these guys are a good band.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm like happy to watch Lorna Shaw because I know obviously they had a bit of a sharp rise last year. And they were on my radar.
We've been around a while, so like it's been valleys as well more than anything with Lorna Shaw. Actually, weirdly enough, I don't think I've ever seen them live. They're not on my top 10, but I'd certainly be interested to check a bit of it out. You know, I think there are better bands in that genre and better than like Lorna Shaw, but I've got no ill will or bad feeling towards it. It's more of a probably a guest like you. I'd be like, yeah, if I've got nothing else going on, I'd want to check it out.
Yeah, I don't have them on my list either, but again, that's not a dig because I did have them. Like I wrote down like a load of bands I wanted to see, and then I kind of tried to order them, and they were on the list originally. It's just when I tried to cut it to 10 that I cut them. So, so I like Lorna Shaw. I think they'll be good, and you know, it's a different genre in a often a mass sea of like thrash and death metal. You know,
yeah.
So I think it's good to have something like that there as well, breaking it up.
Cool. All right, back to me then. Thursday. I could have pulled several out of Thursday, but I've actually only pulled one in the end from Thursday. Just one. And it's Nanowar of Steel. It is Nanowar of Steel. So this is simply almost a bucket list band for me these days. I'm a big fan of what they do. I'm a big fan of the mix of comedy and metal because the metal is often so very good as well as the comedy. I'm intrigued to see how that plays out in a live environment and sort of see if it really does have that grandiose feel that a lot of the music does happen. If it is a lot of fun. They're part of a very strong Friday lineup. They really, really are. So they've got that going against them as well. So I'm kind of hoping they're really going to pull everything out here to impress, basically. And for some reason as well, I'm not entirely sure if this is correct, but I'm 99% sure it's their first time at Bloodstock. So that's another big thing for them as well. Yeah, Nanowar Steel.
Yeah, I also have Nanowar Steel, but with less kind of heartfelt sort of reasoning behind it. Other than that, I like 3 or 4 tracks. I think they're funny.
They're not on my list, but I'm excited to see them. But they're only not on my list purely because I only know like 2 songs.
Yeah, they're only on my list because I think I know 4. I was like, yay, 4.
They'll play like the one song that I know. I'll be like, fuck yeah.
I mean, they genuinely could play the 4 songs that I know, but you know the songs that I do know, and again, it is like, you know, it's the comedy value of it and all that. It's good musically as well. Don't get me wrong, but it is partly it's the entertainment factor. As well with them, but it could also go the opposite way for me. I'm aware of this. They could come out and just play like 4 or 5 tracks that I've never heard before, and I just sound like, oh, I'm so fucking bored.
Yeah.
Play about Hallelujah for Christ's sake.
Yeah, get up there, tell a lot of shit jokes as well, and throw a couple of inflatables about, and you're like, this isn't fun. It could go that way. You're right. So
yeah, but I'm hopeful, and they're on my list. So there you go.
All right, then, because I've you had them as well, didn't you, Dan? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay, right. Well, Brendan, you choose one now because I've always had them.
I got to go.
Yeah, you get hammered with a double up, so you give us one.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go for another Thursday night band. And this is Dark Tranquility.
Okay.
So headliner obviously on the Thursday night. Big fan of the band, big fan of Megadeth. I saw them. I'd never seen them before, and then I saw them live this year, earlier in the year, which are kind of at the time I was like, oh, that might kind of like kill it for me, at Bloodstock, because like they were my bucket list band. I'm going to see them at Bloodstock, and then I saw them beforehand. But all it did is reinforce it. Actually, I saw them live, and I thought they were so much heavier and better live than they even are on record. And obviously, I like them on record anyway. So it just makes it even more exciting for me to see them there. So
you didn't make my cut in the end. Was obviously an obvious choice that could have made the cut, but in the end just didn't make it out. I had a choice between Dark Tranquillity and another band that will come up later on, and I chose the other band. But I am looking forward to seeing Dark Tranquillity. They're part of that Thursday lineup that's just super, super strong. What about you, Dan?
No, I know I've heard of them only because of Brendan though. I don't know them.
Fair enough. Well, then it's your turn. Throw something at us.
This is kind of like weird for me because this is a band I used to love, but I kind of think they're a bit shit now.
Okay.
They're Buried Tomorrow. And like I want to see them because they've always been good live, but also I think they fucking suck now. Like if there was a blueprint for metalcore, they are like just photocopying the blueprint essentially. And I thought with their clean singer leaving, this was like a really good opportunity for them to do something else with their sound. And they just got another guy that sounds exactly the same. And I was like, yeah, you fuck that.
So they're not on my list, but I do kind of disagree with almost everything you said. Almost everything you said that I disagree with. I think it's absolutely insane to turn around and say Buried Tomorrow are fucking shit today. That's crazy talk. That's crazy.
Man, have you listened to the last couple of singles?
Yeah, I have. Of course I have. I'm a fan. I'm a fan like you. I don't necessarily think they're doing better or that they're particularly doing anything groundbreaking. They're that interesting. I agree with that part of things. But like, not fucking shit. That's crazy talk. There are bad bands out there.
They're not a bad band, but it's like the whole Architects thing where they released the same album 4 times and it got boring after a while.
And then what happened? There you go. You've just nailed it though, right? It does get boring. But what happened when Architects then go and do something completely different? What happened to their fan base? They fucking went mental. They went mental, absolutely crazy. And that's what I think Buried Tomorrow are currently trying to avoid, because they knew they had to replace a very difficult position in their band that had people going, oh my God, what's next for Buried Tomorrow? And I think what they've gone for at the moment is safety. And gone, look, let's just show them that we're still Buried Tomorrow and we're still this and we're still that. I think let's have this conversation about Buried Tomorrow in a couple of years' time when they've released a new album, and then we can see what's going on. But I think right now, I think it's all about safety and balancing the ship, as it were, because there was a big, big deal about your man leaving. And I think that's the question. That's where I massively disagree with you on that front. I don't think it's necessarily, I think it's a planned, follow a set, boring path right now, because that's what the fan base wants.
Oh, all right, Carl, stop defending them. They didn't even make your top 10.
I know, he didn't even make my top 10, but it was just his outrage over Buried Tomorrow. I felt
Dan, I 100% agree with your statement, except for one point, which was that you felt they were good before. Nah, they're not in my list.
I didn't see them making the cut.
Fair enough. Okay. I'm going to throw out Orbit Culture. Orbit Culture playing Sunday on the Sophie Lancaster stage. This is a bucket list band for me. Again, not the opportunity to see live, but a band I've grown to really, really enjoy over the last couple of years and last couple of releases. Very, very interesting to see how they perform live. Really, really like the members as well. Yeah, I just think they're a cool, cool band. I really like what they do.
Very good. I don't have them, so
Oh.
but yeah, good band.
I also don't have them.
Awesome. That's you, Brendan.
Oh, I'll give it another go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go for possibly an obvious one, but localish band, Fire Sky. I'm a big fan of Fire Sky. I have been for a while. I think they're really, really great fun, good band. So I've only seen them like a couple of times, but both of those times were a long time ago. All the Metal to the Masses run that they had, like in Kent, at no point did any day that they were actually playing fall on a day that I could even get down there.
Yep.
Which was quite disappointing. But I was really, really chuffed and pleased to hear that they got through and we'll be playing at Bloodstock. So yeah, Fire Sky for me.
I have this one. I also have Fire Sky. Probably the New Blood band overall at the moment that I'm most excited to see. Follow a lot of Brennan said on this. It's been a cool journey watching Fire Sky. I remember this goes back and to Ionia Fest 3 when Fire Sky performed there. And we were sort of standing going, my God, this band's come on leaps and bounds in a short amount of time already. And since then, obviously, that's only grown even further. By winning the Kent Metal to the Masses. So I'm really, really pleased for them, and I'm looking forward to sort of seeing them like achieve this awesome dream at Bloodstock. Yeah. I've taken you down.
I don't have them, but I have heard of them.
Cool. Well, that's a start.
Yeah.
You can go on then, Dan, as we doubled up. There you go now.
I've got Pupil Slicer. Very cool band. I like them a lot. They're playing like on the Sofa stage pretty much first thing on a Saturday. So I think they'll get people moving.
Bit aggressive for the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of cool with it.
Yeah.
I have Pupil Slicer as well. I love Pupil Slicer. From Mirrors, the album that came out 2021, which really feels like ages ago, to catching them live when they supported Roller to Mastiff, to the single that followed. And even recently, they're part of our features that we run, got in contact and they were part of that and gave some really cool responses to that. I am a super big fan of Pupil Slicer. I love the noise they make. I'm stoked for it. Their position is one of those where I almost was talking to my wife the other morning and I was sort of saying, like, I have this thing where I look at the lineup sometimes. I'm like, how the fuck are Pupil Slicer down there? But what the hell's going on? And then I have to remind myself, oh yeah, they're also running their own Bandcamp page and stuff like that. It's like you kind of forget, like, you think this band is huge and should be huge and is so much better and that kind of thing. And then you kind of remember, oh no, that's not necessarily the whole wider general public yet.
Yeah.
And it's hopefully a show like at Bloodstock and the position they're in and the time and all that will work out so nicely that it will turn enough heads that more people will know of them. I do think it's one of those you're either going to love it or loathe it because of how Pupil Slicer can be in regards to jarring noise. But me personally, I love that. I love what Pupil Slicer do. So yeah, they're on my list.
Not on mine. I do like the band though, and I do like the sound probably more in a live and festival environment, to be honest with you. But yeah, there you go.
Cool. Then that's you again then. Yeah.
All right. My next one then, possible for some double ups here, I don't know, is Malevolence.
Okay.
So headlining Saturday night in the Sophie tent, which is also useful because it'll probably be the only headliner I watch that night because I love Merciful Fate night in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like last time they played at Bloodstock, which was last time Bloodstock happened, they stepped in for somebody. I can't remember who they stepped in for.
Yeah, it was main stage, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't go and see them because at the time I didn't really listen to a lot of what they were doing. And so, it wasn't that I didn't like them. I just hadn't really listened to an awful lot of what they were doing. And there was a bit of noise about them. And that sometimes, because I'm a bit of a dick, that sometimes turns me off and it takes me a bit longer to then come along and check it out on my own Steam. Like, do you know what I mean? And so I didn't. But then since then I have. And obviously they've had some like new stuff out this year, done some crossover sort of songs and stuff with some other people that I'm fans of, like Matt Heafy and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of encouraged me towards them. And now I've listened to them, and I massively regret not going to see them last year. But at the same time, I'm extremely thankful that they're here this year in probably a better slot, for me to enjoy it. To be honest, headlining the Sophie tent.
Yeah, on a Saturday as well.
Yeah, so that's looking forward to that.
I've also got them.
Yeah, I was about to say before you speak, because I know you have them, but I'm just going to say I don't have them. But I am looking forward to seeing them. They are probably the Sophie headliner that I'm not including Thursday that I'm most interested in. But you have them, Dan, yeah?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Malevolence. Their new album's great. I've seen them live 2 or 3 times, and they've always been great. So I'm happy to see them again, especially with their new material.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we see them at Slam Dunk? We did see them at Slam Dunk 2021, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're banging there, yeah. Some of that's a bit of a blur because we were quite drunk in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, no, we were both fucked. Yeah. I do not remember much from it.
Okay, I'm going to go next, and I'm going to go with this band. Now, I've seen this band live a few times. So this is on the list, not for me anymore. And this is going to sound really sweet and twee and all that, but I've chosen Avatar. We were playing
Oh.
Friday on the Sophie Lancaster stage, second from top before Sleep Token. And I've chosen them because, well, I've seen Avatar live before, twice before in Brixton and in Shepherd's Bush, and I've always been impressed by them. It's been a couple of years, so we awesomely catch up with them, particularly as that was during the Avatar Country run. So that was, there's been a lot of music since then. But I've only ever seen Avatar once on my own and once with my wife, who was never a fan pre like that show and all that kind of thing. I've not had the chance to see it with people who like Avatar as much as I do, let alone to see it with Brendan, who likes it as maybe more than I do these days. So like, that's a cool thing, like to experience, to get, basically what I want to see is, I want to hear the sing-alongs, I want to hear the music, and I want to be in a nice merry mood with Brendan and Nick and Dan and everyone just singing along to
Trying to
Eagles
hit
Landing.
Johannes's high notes.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Whatever it might be. So Avatar, before more of the group thing, the feel of that's what I think is going to be quite special a moment. That's why Avatar on mine.
Probably not a surprise that they're on my list.
I was waiting for you to speak up.
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, I was trying not to always jump in straight away in case Dan wants to jump in. That was all. But yeah, so obviously they're on my list. I did originally rank mine in order, and I kind of got stuck between this band and another one, so I'd rank them joint first. But we're not doing it in order, so it doesn't really matter. I'm obviously a big fan. Yeah, I've spoken about them a lot over the last couple of years, really, because even though they've been around for 20 years, the truth is I only became a fan in the last few years.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be sort of walking around acting like I am some sort of diehard Avatar fan. I'm a noob. Never seen them live. Became a fan recently, have backdated, so like I'm in that crowd. But like from everything I know about the band, from their efforts and energies, I have no doubt that they will at least attempt to put on a performance that marks people's memory.
Yeah,
they will at least give it their all, and I just think it'll be fucking great fun. That's it. It'll be great fun. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't have them on my list, but I do obviously know Avatar. And I'd be stoked to see them because I don't think I have. I think I was meant to at one point, but something.
They were meant to be playing earlier in the year. We was going to go for Rose's birthday, but it got delayed for a year.
No, it was like ages ago. I think it was in like late 2018. I just ended up not.
Oh. All right, well then it's your turn. Pull one out for us.
Cage Fight. Very excited for them. Just like hardcore band, fight riffs. Pleased.
It sounds like a hardcore band when you said their name, Cage Fight.
Yeah,
that's hardcore.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Cage Fight as well. Debut album out now. Go listen to that. Check it out. It is nice blend of old school and modern hardcore. Plenty of stompy shit to get down to. I like the band. I like a lot of the people. Well, it's filled with an array of talent across other bands as well. Cage Fight is effectively a super group, as it were. Although that term obviously gets thrown around quite easily, it does apply to Cage Fight. Not my top 10. But they are amongst that little selection of bands on that Saturday morning that I'm like, yep, that's really cool in a row with that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, and I genuinely don't know them at all. So yeah, didn't have them.
I'll throw one out then. And talking about that little selection of bands, there is of course one else amongst them, which regularly comes up. Was the very first band to be featured in our Bloodstock features this year. It is one of my favorite noisy, nasty bands in the entire world, let alone one of the best bands in this country. It is, of course, Mastiff. Yes, fucking Mastiff. The last time I saw Mastiff was pre-pandemic, and it was in the Black Heart. This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see the new music live, the new songs from the new album. Cannot wait to see how far they've come. I love this band. I'm stoked.
But I also have Mastiff, but I have it for different reasons. I've got Mastiff because I've decided that I'm going to allow this time when I watch Mastiff to be the kind of defining factor of whether I'm going to be their friend or not.
Right.
Or like become a fan rather than friend.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I've listened to Mastiff. I like it, but I had never been quite as blown away like as I know you have been, but and many other people as well. And then like everything, like I see Mastiff on shows and I like lineups, and I think like, oh, this is my sort of thing. They were even meant to come out on tour with Avatar. They were the support act, and I'm like, I feel like I'm meant to be one of Mastiff's greatest fans. I feel like everywhere I look, they're in my like area, they're in my fucking face. It's like, there's Mastiff again, there's fucking Mastiff again. Oh look, Avatar coming out, they're bringing fucking Mastiff. And it's like, what, right, what was that? So yeah, I've kind of made the decision that I'm going to go and watch Mastiff, and I'm either going to be, because I haven't seen them live, that's the thing. And I'm like, sometimes I think that can be the turning point in either direction, to be honest with you. It can be the thing that makes me go, yeah, this band's definitely not for me, or it can be the thing that makes me go like, oh shit, I get it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So for me, I've got them on the list because I'm really intrigued. Like I really want to be a big fan, you know, and I'm going along and I'm going to watch it. I'm going to analyze it, fucking clipboard and pens and all that sort of stuff, and you know, score certain elements. And at the end of it, if I give them like over 65, then I'm going to become the greatest fan. Something like that. But yeah.
Oh, excellent. What are you, Dan? You got anything on Mastiff?
No, I don't know them, but they've been bigged up enough the last like 2 minutes that I probably should check them out.
Okay, yeah, you go now then.
Which one?
Me?
Oh, Dan.
You guys are just you in a Zoom call.
I was talking, but I was talking to you last, so I presumed you would naturally think it was you.
You know, like when you talk, like obviously the big person in front of the screen, it just goes to that. So you're like, when you say you're looking directly at me, and also on Dan's looking directly at Dan. It's like.
Mine is the band I thought you were going to say with that big lead up, and they're called Harriet. Big noisy hardcore. I'm excited to see them. That's literally it. There's not much more to say. It's just like they're a cool band. I feel like I should have seen them. Once again, they keep popping up on my peripherals, and I'm like, go away, because I keep seeing them. And I saw that they got announced for this, and I was like, okay, fuck yeah, I'll check them out.
I haven't got them.
They're on my list. They're on my list as well. And the reason why I didn't mention is because they're playing a different day. They're playing the Sunday of the festival at the Sophie Lancaster stage. So they're not part of that little group. So they're on a little thing over on the side on the Sunday in a different kind of setup for that day. But I'm a big fan of Harriet as well. And it more came about through a live performance than on record. I heard the record pretty much at the same time because I basically... For clarity, I did press review stuff for that specific gig, but it was for it was for shit. No, I think it was for Harriet. It was for Harriet, but obviously there's a support band on, and like you're still there to see like Roller Tomasi and Pupil Slush, but it was for Harriet specifically. So obviously I'm there early to do it, and I kind of got the gist of it on the record. But seeing them live and sort of seeing the atmosphere they bring alongside what is very, very uncomfortable, if you want to use the word, uncouth. Raw music.
Uncouth. Uncouth.
I love that word. I use it sometimes in written. So I'm a big fan as well, and I think Bloodstock again. Like I feel like it's a great fit for them. I think the Sophie Tent is a great place for them to play. So I'm stoked. That's why Harriet on my list too.
Wow.
Not on yours, Brendan. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're not on my list. Is like I should say more.
Dickhead fan, put them on your list.
Yeah, they're on my list now. I've just dropped someone.
No, you'll probably like them. Like in a live environment, I imagine they gonna get even heavier.
Yeah,
you know.
I have to check them out. You both said some positive things about them. So,
well, you go next then, Brendan.
Okay. One I doubt is on either of your lists, but it is on mine. But and that's Behemoth. So Friday night headliner, black metal. The main reason they're on my list because like normally I think when a headliner gets announced, for the most part, it's usually someone I've seen a fair few times or at least seen before. And I've had this discussion I think with you before, Carl, but I don't remember ever seeing Behemoth. The only time I think I might have seen Behemoth might have been like a long time ago in like a kind of black metal collective sort of gig or something like that, you know, when there were 4 or 5 bands playing and I caught it that way without probably really knowing what I was watching. So I am a fan of the band. I've certainly never seen them on a big stage headlining, you know, hopefully putting on a big show and a performance and that. So yeah, purely because on the basis that I haven't seen them before, I'm excited, or I don't believe I've seen them before. I'm excited to see them.
That's still, I'm sure we had this last discussion, but it still baffles me that the that's not happened. It's like I almost would be
Yeah.
like, there must be something. There must be somewhere. But it may just generally be very much the case. Now, none of the headliners of the main stage are on my list. Partially because 2 out of 3 of them I ain't really got much time for, and third being Behemoth. It's not that I think I'm uninterested. I think it's probably going to be the best headline show of the weekend. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to put my money, all my chips on Behemoth being their best headliner of Bloodstock, above Merciful Fate and Lamb of God. Probably as much from a show perspective and because they have a fantastic body of work and new stuff sounding fantastic as well. But I have seen Behemoth live a lot, and including in headlining festival slots. I've seen them do Hellfest. I saw Behemoth back in the day when they supported Devil Driver at the fucking garage. And that's something that I constantly forget. And Lou will remind me, I'm like, don't forget, we went to that show. And I was like, shut up. Did that show ever happen? And that actually fucking happened once upon a time.
Is that the Devil Driver show I went to with you?
It was at the garage.
I went to a Devil Driver show with you, and I remember us kind of jumping into the pit really
No,
early.
that was Ballroom.
I was wondering if maybe that was where I've seen them, but
no, that was the Electric Ballroom. No, I remember that one as well. No, not quite that one. Not that one. Oh, we've gone back over 15 years for that gig. I'm thinking of at least. I think it's probably that go. But yeah, so I've seen them a lot, and it's been a while, admittedly, and there's a lot of new music. So I am interested. Like, put it that way, I will see Behemoth that night. I will see them. Dan?
I have many thoughts about the main stage of Bloodstock this year. None of them nice. The headliners do nothing for me. Behemoth, even more. So I have no real care for them.
No interest even in a spectacular show?
I think I'm preoccupied with the Sophie stage headliner that night.
Yeah, but they're playing after. So you technically will have there'll be nothing else. There's nothing else playing at that point.
I know, but I think
you're gonna go to the Sophie stage and hang on to the front and go sleep token.
I've got like -10 interest for Behemoth. I don't like them.
Okay. Okay. I mean, obviously it's your opinion. It's totally your opinion. It's a wrong opinion, but it's your.
There's no wrong opinion.
Right. Don't make me debate that. There are totally wrong opinions. There are plenty.
I believe the Earth is flat. My opinion.
Wrong.
Exactly.
Wrong. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's no surprise because obviously the black metal side of things is probably, is it fair to say, Dan, without going too off topic, is it fair to say black metal is probably one of your least liked genres of music?
Depends how it's done. Like,
what do you mean?
Like shoegazy stuff.
No,
mixed with black metal.
Right.
So
Let's
like,
no, I know. Let's just say traditional black metal as it is.
No interest. I don't like it. I think it's formulaic, boring, and often mixed horrifically.
Okay, all right. That would certainly get the ire up of a lot of black metal fans.
Each their own.
Yeah, it would.
No, that's the way it is, isn't it? You know, some people see metalcore as formulaic, some people see black metal as it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm moving away from metalcore. Stop being me about it.
No, I wasn't saying it to you specifically, but that's what it is, isn't it?
We had this argument the other day. It's hardcore now, which is totally.
It's a good thing all hardcore.
Formulaic.
Good thing all hardcore bands sound completely different to each other.
Okay.
Every genre
take
has a formula, though.
That's the whole point of the genre, though, isn't it?
No, I know, but that's why you can't. Formulaic can't be a bad thing because that's the whole point of the genre, right?
I suppose so.
I know what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. It's just a formula that you don't like, That's
there you go.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Healthy debate. It's like we're a bunch of Tories sitting in front of a newsreader.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Right.
That was a shit opinion.
Yeah, that was a shit opinion.
It was just you. You just went. Who just went? You went, Dan. No,
I went with Behemoth, didn't I?
Yeah. Dan, how many did you have left?
2.
Oh, I got 2. Brennan, how many you got left? 2. All right, cool. Dan, go.
Sleep Token. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm interested to see how the Bloodstock crowd will react to them based on their reactions to Orgasm and Parkway Drive. Just like their outrage, and I feel like Sleep Token are gonna piss off a couple of Bloodstock fans.
Probably get away a little bit more than the Parkway Drive just because it's not main stage. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people with the hate on Parkway Drive was as much about you can't have them headlining, you know.
Yeah.
Which obviously was bullshit anyway.
So I find I didn't really notice too much noise about Sleep Token being part of Bloodstock. I really didn't. I know what you're talking about in regards to the Parkway Drive thing. I also know what you're talking about Wargasm UK, but that also was a hefty part afterwards where it was kind of generally seemed to be the general opinion. I didn't see them, but the general opinion was they were pretty terrible on that stage. Or whether or not that's just consensus that I thought I noticed, but I hadn't heard too much fuss about Sleep Token. I think the idea of anybody was to go and see Sleep Token just to be a dick about it. Don't do that. Really behave yourselves. I think actually what's more likely it's going to happen and what I'm expecting is I'm expecting that tent to be ramped, at least for the first half an hour, as curiosity is what brings people in. Oh, I heard about this band that everyone's talking about. Let me check out a couple of tracks. So I'm going to pop in there on my after the headliner, and either it's for you or it's for not. That's part of the reason why I'm interested in seeing Sleep Token, because on record, I've listened to it. I reviewed Sleep Token's latest album, and I liked it, but I didn't quite understand why people were calling them the next big thing. Obviously, in this world, we love to say everything is the next big thing until the next big thing comes along, and then they're the next big thing, and so on and so forth and so forth and so on. So never take that too seriously. So it certainly wasn't a judgment on the band, because I don't think it's fair when a lot of people are saying next big thing, to then be like to the band, oh, you're not. And it's like, they didn't ask to be called that. They never would ask to be called it. No band would be. Do you see what I mean? It's that kind of thing. It is what it is. So I don't blame Sleep Token on that. But on record, it didn't thrill me. It interested me, and I liked a lot of the songs, but it didn't thrill me. Now let's see what people often say. See them live. See what I like live. They said it to me about Baby Metal. They said to me, hey, you don't like them on record? See them live, and it's a totally different thing. And they were right.
And now he goes around doing little foxhorns all the time.
Too sweet me, bro. Too sweet me. No, but I mean, I'm still not a fan of Baby Metal, but seeing them when I did pre-pandemic at Shepherd's Bush Empire, I had a lot more fun, enjoyed it a lot more than I ever did on record. And I'm hoping that's kind of going to be the case for Sleep Token. So I do share not your level of enthusiasm, Dan, but I share your interest.
I haven't listened to them at all because everyone keeps telling me I should listen to them. So what I'll probably do is completely avoid them on purpose, then become a fan of them during the year and regret that I didn't go and see them.
Yeah, it seems to be a rolling theme for you.
Yeah, I think I'd learn.
No, go see them, honestly, even if it's like for a song or two.
I'm sure I will, because of their just purely because of the top position they're in is really good for that. I haven't got to worry about, but I could go and see something else instead. Ain't nothing else on, so.
Yeah.
All right. I think my last two, both of you are going to double up with one of them each. So I'll do the one I think Dan might double up with me on, and we'll knock that one out. I have I Fight Bears, who are playing on the New Blood stage on the Friday. And I'm a big fan of this band, a modern metalcore band doing some really cool stuff. It's a bit out there from the type, but there's a ton of fucking energy with this band. Really excited to see them. A band that I was almost a bit surprised to sort of see on a New Blood stage, but of course they won their Metal to the Masters, so they deserve to be there. I can see big things for this band in the future. Like, this is one I would be very surprised if in a couple of years' time, at Bloodstock, for example, they're not on the Sophie stage and that kind of thing. So yeah, keep an eye out for I Fight Bears. I think you do. I know you're shaking your head, so they're not on your list, but I know you've got an opinion on them, right?
Not really. They were fine. I listened to them and I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. It didn't do much for me though.
Okay, fair enough. And then?
I have no opinion. Yeah, don't know them. I was just doing chants in my head. I was like, I Fight Bears. And I was like, oh no, maybe it's We Fight Bears. And then I was like, what if it mean like bear? Like, what if they did it in America and an actual fucking bear come in? The bear would just kick their asses, man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what did they mean Bear Grylls? And then I had an image of Bear Grylls curled up on the floor while they were all kicking him, shouting, We Fight Bear. Sorry, so I switched off, basically.
Jesus, he switched off. All right, what's your second last one then?
Should I do the one we're going to double up? I'll do my second last one. So I'm going to go for Gua. Gua.
Ah.
I've been a fan of Gua for many years. When I was younger, I was a fan of Gua because it was silly and rude and naughty, and I used to like oh, they said they're fucking an animal, and then chuckle, because I was young and that was funny. But as I got older and I continued to listen to them, I also became appreciative of the fact that they're actually very talented musicians, very, very good at what they do. Yes, it's all very funny and messy and stupid and all that, but I also think that even though they have a relatively short slot, they'll do their utmost to make it memorable. So it should be funny, it should be good music, and probably take a bit away from the front, or it will also be multiple sticky substances as well. But yeah, took a while.
Yeah, it's a decent.
I don't have them.
Go on, Dan. Sorry.
I don't have them. I do know about them, and I got told about the whole like them throwing stuff off stage, and I was just like, cool, that sounds like my worst fucking nightmare then.
Oh yeah, I watched that from a distance, bro.
Yeah, same. Like if I have time to, like, if I'm not wanting to see anybody else, then I will check them out of curiosity. Because if they're fun, then they're fun to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's where mine comes from as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Guam musically, and the whole shtick doesn't resonate quite as strongly with me as does some others. But if there's nothing else going on, it could be fun. And sometimes as well, it's the kind of thing that screams group activity, our group activity. And if everybody's there having a good time, and obviously some of, one or two people with us aren't necessarily always the biggest metalheads, it's the kind of thing I could see them thoroughly enjoying, which is infectious for me. You see other people enjoying it, you enjoy it too more as well. So that's kind of my interest. Yep. Dan, your last one then.
And I'm most excited to see for Bloodstock because I did mine numbered. Guilt Trip.
Of course.
Yep. I'm really excited to see them, and I think everyone should go to see them. I think they will do very good. Yeah, hardcore band.
Cool. I can add a little bit more to this because as of the time recording, me and Dan did do a reaction video for Guilt Trip at Bloodstock, specific Bloodstock as well, and I thought it was banging. It was a really cool fucking. What was the name of the song?
Ooh, Hand of God.
I can't.
Or was it River of Lies?
I think it was River of Lies, actually. Yeah, it was River of Lies. Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was a really, really good song, So it has at least intrigued me a little bit more than that, but not on my list.
Yeah, I don't have them on my list either, but I do think I know who they are. I haven't got anything bad to say about them or anything like that. So, I'll try and catch some of it if I get an opportunity to.
On the Sunday as well. So there's that. Which brings us to mine and Brennan's last one. Now, it clearly shows these days how often we are in sync because there is still a huge amount of bands and Bloodstock that neither of us have mentioned. However, clearly, Brendan is aware of what band I haven't mentioned. Mm-hmm. And should we say it together in countdown from, 3, 2, 1.
I hate God. No, I'm only joking. Cattle decapitation. I said I hate God just for a laugh.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, it's cattle decapitation. I'll let you start with this and take it away.
I think they're a phenomenal band, man. I really do. Fell in love with them really around the Death Atlas era, but was a fan before. But that was like I'm no longer a fan. I'm now like a massive supporter and fan. Yeah, I think they're phenomenal. I think they're superbly heavy, intelligent, creative. I've wanted to see them for ages. They are a genuine bucket list band for me. Opportunities have come and gone, all COVID related as always, and so I'm just really, really fucking excited to get them. I remember how excited I am is how nervous I was when they were doing early announcements and they were announcing all the bands from last year who are now coming back and they hadn't announced them.
Yeah,
and I was getting properly wound up, stressed the fuck, I ain't going, it's not happening, this is bullshit. And then finally, after months and months of pissing me off, and I'm pretty sure Bloodstock were doing it on purpose, they finally went, oh yeah, and cattle decapitation are there, and it was yeah, no fuck for that. So I'm really, really excited for them. My only regret, truthfully, is that when they were meant to play originally, they were a Sophie stage headliner.
They were,
and now they're only 3 or 4 from the top of the bill on the Sunday, on the main stage, but I still think I would have loved to see them headline the Sophie stage. I think it would have probably been the most packed that stage could probably get, that tent could get. And also the pits would be absolutely fucking brutal for what it is. But it's often with cattle decapitation for me, it is extremely heavy. I love it. But also I love the fact that they switch things up, man. That's the thing, when they do go to their clean moments or their grooves and everything like that. So they transition well between the extreme end of grind and death metal back into a kind of more groove sound sometimes. So I think they're a phenomenal band. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, it was earlier when I said it was a toss-up between Dark Tranquility and it was Cattle Decapitation. I was trying to decide between the two of which one I preferred to listen to overall these days, and I decided it was Cattle Decapitation more than anything else. As much as well because I was like, look, you don't really have loads of bands on the main stage. Really look at it and decide which ones you put in your top 10. And each time I kept coming back to Cattle Decapitation. I was like, well, that's it then. It's got to be Cattle Decapitation. I'm not maybe as big a fan of as you are, Brendan. But I have got a lot of interest in this band, and on that Sunday when I just don't, the main stage just isn't really holding a lot of what I want to see. Yeah. Cattle Decapitation, they really stand out as like a whole, like that's the band to see more than any other. So that's kind of one of my top 10.
Yeah, I don't have many thoughts on them, but I do know them. Of course, I think they pulled out last year, innit?
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah. And I was planning to go see them. And it'll probably be the last band I see because I'm seeing how late it is on the Sunday.
Yeah, the main stage. I think we all kind of like sort of suggested that to our taste, at least, the main stage is probably one of the weakest I've seen to my personal taste. And Cattle Decapitation stand out like a sore thumb, I think, on the Sunday.
The main stage is like, but then you scroll down and it's like Sophie Lancaster stage is covered wall to wall with some amazing fucking bands. Yeah, it's like, wow, you guys ballsed up the main stage, but you did really good on the Sophie stage this year. So
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who feel like had the opposite way around.
Probably.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, it is all about personal taste because I also follow suit with everything you're saying there. For me, but what's also now growing with me is I am going through a period of time where I'm working my way through New Blood bands and trying to get my understanding of who's playing and trying to listen to tracks here and there. And I'm telling you now, like already, I a separate list, not for a video. There's at least 15 bands I think are fucking great on that New Blood band that stage already. Bands I didn't know before. Check out a band called Tribe of Ghosts, for example, who are the last band on is something was as a headliner on the Saturday of New Blood, and like that shit is killer, man. Fucking killer. And it's like, okay, so so the lower stage is absolutely nailed for me. And we haven't covered obviously anything in the Jaeger stage where there's a couple of damn good bands there as well. And don't forget, like there's a special thing going on this very Saturday of the festival where the Cunts are going to be doing a rarity where they're actually going to be playing in the Jaeger stage after their headliner in a kind of a fun acoustic thing. And you can sing along with their politically incorrect, however you want to call it, offensive music for a bit of a laugh. If you don't fancy seeing Malevolence, who will be in the tent, of course, as well. So variety is the spice of life. But that's it. That's our personal top 10s as it stands. Time recording July 18th. I say fingers crossed everything we've named here makes it to the festival. Fingers crossed. I think Brendan will melt down if Cattle Decapitation end up pulling out again.
I'm done with metal if that happens. I'm going to be going, I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going Glastonbury.
The four songs being there.
That's what I'm doing.
But you know what you do, you know what you got to do. You got any thoughts on what we've said here? You got any thoughts on some of the strong opinions that have been shared, or you want to tell us your personal top 10? You know what to do. Drop it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl as well as Big Cartel where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?